My stepfather beat me from the age of 8. My mother knew, but kept silent, afraid of being left without money. 10 years of hell. I ran away at 18. I built a life without them. She stayed with the abuser for the money. He died a year ago. Now she's lonely, calling every day asking for forgiveness. I don't answer. She chose him then. All names have been changed for privacy. Let's call me Ethan. I'm 28 years old and live in Portland, Oregon. I work as a social worker helping children from abusive families. For 10 years of my childhood, my stepfather, Richard Stone, systematically beat me. My mother, Deborah, knew. She saw. She remained silent because she was afraid of losing his money. Today she's lonely. She calls every day. She asks for forgiveness. She wants a relationship. I will never answer. This is my story of survival and why I chose to never forgive. I was born in 1997. My father died when I was 3 years old. Car accident. I don't remember him. My mother, Deborah, raised me alone for 4 years. It was financially difficult. She worked as a nurse, but the money was barely enough. We lived in a small apartment, old furniture, cheap food, but we were happy. Mom loved me. She read to me at night. She played with me. We were, even though incomplete family, but with family. 2005. I was 8. My mother met Richard Stone at work. He was an administrator at a hospital, 45 years old, divorced, no children, earned a good income. The first few months he was perfect. He brought Mom flowers. He took us to restaurants. He bought me toys. Mom was beaming with happiness. Finally, we'll have a normal family, Ethan. They got married after 6 months of dating. We moved into his house. It's a big house in a good neighborhood, 3 bedrooms, a backyard, and a garage. The first few months were good. I was getting used to a new school, a new home, and a new father. Richard was strict but not mean. Rules, discipline, schedule. It was unusual after my lenient mother, but bearable. Then everything changed. I don't remember what exactly caused it the first time. Maybe I broke something. Maybe a bad grade. It doesn't matter. Richard hit me for the first time. Bipartisan, so much so that half my face went numb. I was in shock. 9 years. No one had ever hit me before. He ran to his mother crying. He hit me. I expected her to protect me, punish me, do something. She looked at me, then at Richard standing in the doorway. What did you do, Ethan? Is her first question. I broke his mug by accident. See? You have to be careful. These are expensive things. But he hit me. Richard has the right to discipline you. He is the head of the family. Didn't protect me. Chose his side. First time, but not the last. It all started from that day. Richard was a clever abuser. He knew how to leave no visible traces in the wrong places. It hit the body wherever clothing concealed it, the back, sides, stomach, thighs. Rarely, the face was too noticeable. He had a system of punishments, ranging from mild to severe, depending on the offense, in his opinion. A small infraction like forgotten homework gets 1 lash with a belt. An average violation is a bad grade, 5 strokes, and being sent to your room without dinner. A major violation is like talking to him against 10 blows and a week without privileges, TV, computer, friends. Everything is documented in his head. A consistent system of torment. The worst thing was the unpredictability of his mood. I never knew what would trigger his anger. One day he laughed at my joke. The next day the same joke caused a shock. Lived on eggshells. Constant lightness, never relaxed at home. School was a refuge, the only place safe for a few hours. But returning home every day filled my stomach with dread. The sound of the key in the lock when opening the door still causes alarm sometimes. At 2006-2015, the next 10 years were hell. Richard hit me regularly, not every day, but often enough for any offense, real or imaginary. Bad grade strike, didn't clean the room strike, spoke too loudly strike, didn't respond quickly enough strike, sometimes with a belt, sometimes with his hand. One time he threw me into a wall, leaving a dent in the drywall. The bruises were constant. I learned to hide them. Long sleeves even in summer, lying to teachers about falling during games. Worse than the physical pain was the emotional one. You are a useless, lazy idiot, he said almost every day. Your mother made a mistake with you. Nobody will ever love you. You are worthless. Your father was a weakling. That's why he died early. You'll be a loser like him. The words sank deeper than the blows. The constant erosion of self-esteem, drop by drop, year after year. I started to believe him. I started to think he was truly useless. truly unworthy of love. And Mom, she remained silent. But sometimes active participation is worse than silence. She reinforced his discipline. When he punished me, she agreed. Richard is right, Ethan. You have to listen. If I had behaved correctly, there would have been no punishment. It's for your own good. Gaslighting from my own mother. It made me doubt reality. Maybe this is really normal discipline. Maybe I'm too sensitive. No, I knew deep down that it wasn't normal. It wasn't right. But the voice was quiet under the years of their voices. And Mom, she remained silent. I saw the bruises. I heard the screams. I knew everything. Didn't do anything. One day, when I was 11, I asked her point blank, Mom, why don't you stop him? She avoided his gaze. Richard is strict sometimes, but he provides for us, Ethan. We have a good home, food, and clothes. That's important. He's hitting me. He's disciplining. You should obey better. Are you choosing him over me? A long silence. Then quietly, I can't raise you alone again. I can't. I understood then. She was more afraid of being poor than she was afraid for my well-being. Richard's money and home comfort were more important than my safety. Something broke inside me then. I started to emotionally shut down. I built walls. I stopped showing pain. When Richard beat me, I didn't scream anymore. I didn't cry. I just endured it in silence. This angered him even more, but he also began to feel bored. He found less satisfaction in being a silent victim. The blows became less frequent, but the verbal abuse continued. At school, I was a quiet, lonely kid. I had few friends. Teachers either didn't notice or ignored the signs. One time the school nurse asked about a bruise on my arm. I fell off my bike. I lied automatically. She didn't press. It's easier not to ask questions. The years passed. I grew up. Richard grew older, but he didn't become softer. At 14, he hit my mother for the first time that I saw. They were arguing about money. She wanted to buy something. He refused. She insisted. He hit her across the face. She fell, holding her cheek. Ears. I stood in the doorway, watching. I thought she would finally understand. Finally leave. She apologized to him. I'm sorry, Richard. I shouldn't have argued. He accepted the apology and left. She saw me, confusion in her eyes. Ethan, do you understand now? I asked coldly. This is different. No, it's the same thing he's been doing to me for years. Now he's doing it to you. Are you happy? He went into the room and closed the door. I heard her crying through the wall. I felt no sympathy. She made a choice. She lived with the consequences. At the age of 16, he began planning his escape. He saved money secretly. He worked after school at a grocery store. He hid every dollar. Richard didn't know about the job. Mom knew but kept quiet. Once, she helped him lie about my whereabouts. A small betrayal of his. Not enough, but something. For 17 years, I had enough money. The plan is ready. I just had to wait until I turned 18. Legally, I came of age, 18th birthday, August 2015, the day after graduating from school. Richard and Mom were at work. I packed everything important, clothes, documents, savings, photographs of my late father. One backpack. That's all. Left a note on the kitchen table. Another, I'm leaving. Don't look for me. I don't want contact. You chose him over me every time. You lived with that choice. I choose myself now. Ethan left the house. Nissa mirror breathing. Bus to Portland. 8 hours. Every mile further from hell. I found a cheap dorm room in Portland. The other 15 guys were all poor. I got a full-time job at a warehouse. It was hard physical work, but the pay was fair. I enrolled in evening classes at a community college. Social work is my specialty. I knew why I chose this. I wanted to help children like me, children who were left unprotected. The first year was hard. Work, study, survival, loneliness too. I didn't trust people easily. Mom called a lot, 20 times in the first week. Didn't answer. Finally blocked the number. I heard through friends that she was looking for me. Richard was too, but he probably cared less. They didn't find it. I was careful. 2 years have passed. It's 2017. I completed my associate's degree and transferred to the university's Bachelor of Social Work program. I worked during the day and studied in the evenings, slowly, but I was making progress. I started therapy too. The university counseling center is free for students. The first session was difficult. I sat in front of Dr. Patel, not knowing where to begin. Tell me why Ethan is here, she said softly. I don't know where to begin. Start where it feels right. My stepfather beat me for 10 years. The words burst out, and more words. The story poured out like a burst dam. He talked about the belt, about the blows, about the words, about the bruises, about the fear. He talked about his mother, her silence, her choice, her betrayal. I cried for the first time in years. I haven't cried since childhood. Doctor, Adele listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't judge. She was simply present. At the end of the session, she said, Ethan, what happened to you was abuse. Serious, systematic abuse. It wasn't your fault. Not one bit. I know it in my head. But you feel differently. Yes, I feel like I should have been better, irritated him less, obeyed him more. It's typical for victims of abuse to blame themselves. But listen carefully. Nothing an 8-year-old does deserves a beating. Nothing. Sometimes I was bad. All kids are bad sometimes. It's part of growing up. But violence is never the appropriate answer. The words began to penetrate slowly but surely. The therapy lasted 2 years. Weekly sessions unpacked the layers of trauma. I learned the tools, how to manage triggers, how to reframe negative thoughts, how to build self-esteem from scratch. Doctor, Itel helped me understand one critical thing. Your mother made a choice not to protect you, she said. That was her responsibility as a parent. She failed. But she was a victim too, perhaps, but she was also an adult guardian. She had the power to leave, to take you, to seek help. She chose not to. Does that make her as guilty as him? The blame is complex, but the responsibility is clear. She's responsible for your childhood, for not protecting you, for putting financial security above your physical and emotional safety. The words release something deep inside. I allow myself to be angry at my mother, not just at Richard, at both of them. She was a victim of abuse, yes, but she chose money and comfort over the safety of her child. This is unforgivable. Years of therapy have taught me boundaries are great. They've taught me forgiveness isn't necessary for healing. They've taught me I deserve love and safety. Slowly began to believe it. Over the next few years, I built my life brick by brick. In 2019, he completed his bachelor's degree in social work. He found a job at a child welfare organization. I worked with children from abusive homes. I helped them navigate the system and found safe places. Every child I helped was a chance to fix what happened to me. I couldn't save myself then, but I could save them now. 2020 introduced me to Sarah Nguyen. She's also a social worker, kind, smart, and compassionate. We understood each other. We both worked with traumatized children. We both had reasons for choosing this work. We started dating, slowly and cautiously. I didn't trust easily. But Sarah was patient. We moved in together in 2021. It was a small apartment, but ours. The first home that felt safe. In 2022, I received my social worker license. I was promoted to case manager. Sarah proposed to me. Yes, I said yes. We were planning a wedding for 2023. Life was good, stable, everything I wanted, everything Richard said I will never achieve. You are worthless. Nobody will love you. You will end up alone and unhappy. All his words turned out to be lies. I had a career helping people. I had a woman who loved me. I had a life I was proud of. Without him, without them. Update 1, November 2023. 8 years since the escape, I received a call from an unfamiliar number. I usually wouldn't answer, but something made me answer. Hello, Ethan, it's Mom. The voice I haven't heard for 8 years. Older, shaky. How did you get this number? I've been looking for years. I finally hired a detective. Goodbye. He hung up. The phone rang again immediately. I ignored it. The text arrived. Ethan, please. I need to talk to you. It's important. Richard is dead. I read the message 3 times. Richard died. I should have felt something. Joy, relief, closure. I felt only emptiness. Didn't respond to the text. More messages arrived the following days. Please, Ethan, I need you. I'm alone now. I made mistakes. I want to fix them. Give me a chance to explain. I'm your mother. You can't just cut me out of your life. The last message prompted a reply. You cut yourself out when you chose him over me every day for 10 years. Don't contact me anymore. Block the new number too. Sarah asked what happened. He told her, how are you feeling? She asked softly, I don't know. It could be anything. It's okay. You don't owe her anything. She says she wants to fix it. 10 years is too late to fix it. Yes. Do you want to see her? No, never. Then no need. The border is great. I did her. Thank you. The wedding is in a week. A small ceremony with only close friends. Mom isn't invited. Her side of the family is empty. Sarah's side is full. Her family accepted me as their own. Warmth, love, support. This is family, not blood. Choice. Update 2, March 2024, 4 months after Richard's death. Mom didn't give up. She found ways to communicate. Emails to an old college address I forgot to delete. Emails to my work address. I even got one at work once. Security escorted her out. I finally filed a restraining order, but before the court order took effect, she sent a letter, a long one. Sarah found it in the mail. Ethan, this is from your mother. Do you want me to throw it away? No, I'll read it just once. I opened the letter, 5 pages of text. It started with an apology. Ethan, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know I was a terrible mother. I know I failed you. I regret it every day. The explanations continued. I was scared of poverty, scared of being alone again. Richard provided for us. The home was safe. I thought that was the most important thing. I didn't realize how bad it was for you. I was in denial. I told myself discipline, strictness, not abuse. By the time I realized it, I was in too deep, in too long, in too much fear to leave. It ended with a plea. Please give me a chance. I want to know you as an adult. I want to be a part of your life. I want to correct mistakes. I'm alone, Ethan. Richard is gone. Friends are gone. Family is distant. You're all I have. Don't leave me alone. Please, I read the letter twice. Part of me, the soft part, felt pity. It was lonely, scared, regretful. The other part, the hard part, remembered. I remembered the bruises, the words, the years of silence. I remembered how I asked her to help me, how I chose him every time. I remembered how he left at 18, broken, but pity did not outweigh the pain, didn't answer. Update 3. Today is January 2025, 9 years since the escape. I live in Portland with my wife, Sarah. I work to support my children. We're building a life together. We recently found out Sarah is pregnant. Our first child is due in June. Joy, fear, excitement. I'm going to be a father. It's huge. Sarah asked recently, do you think about your mother now that you're a parent yourself? Sometimes. Want to get in touch. No, even so that she knows about her grandson. Especially for that reason, no. Why? Because she failed to protect me when she was my protector. I don't trust her to be around my child, even as a grandmother. There, do you think I'm too cruel? Sarah took my hand firmly. I think you're protecting yourself and our future family. It's not cruel. It's healthy. It's necessary. She's alone. She's getting old. This might be her last chance to have a family, any kind of family. She had Ethan's family. She had you. She chose not to protect that family. She chose money and comfort over her son's safety. These are her consequences, not your fault, not your responsibility to fix. But she is my mother biologically. A mother is more than biology and blood. A mother is someone who protects, someone who loves unconditionally, someone who puts a child first when it matters. She did none of that when it mattered. She was a mother in name only, not in actions. The words resonated deeply. I knew it. Therapy had taught me this for years. But it's still hard sometimes. Guilt seeps into quiet moments. What if she really has changed? What if she really regrets it? But then I remember, how many times did I ask her for help? How many times did I look into her eyes pleadingly? Every time she turned away, every time she chose him. 10 years, thousands of opportunities to make the right choice. She chose wrong every time. One letter of apology does not make up for a decade of failure, but it's still hard. The mother lies somewhere out there alone. She's growing old without family. She regrets the choices she made decades ago. A small part of me feels guilty for not giving a second chance. But most of those who survived remember too much. He remembers lying in bed counting the hours until Richard returned from work, fear in his stomach. He remembers wearing long sleeves in the summer heat to hide his bruises. He remembers how teachers asked if everything was okay at home and he lied automatically because his mother told him not to tell. He remembers asking her one day in tears, "Please, Mom, protect me." And she said, "I can't, Ethan. I'm sorry. I can't forget those words. I can't, not I won't, not I'm afraid. Just a cold I can't." As if protecting one's own child was a physical impossibility rather than a moral choice. It's a choice. There was always a choice. She chose wrong. Now I choose. I choose help. I choose boundaries. I choose to protect my family, my new family, from the toxicity of the past. Forgiveness is for those who deserve it. for those who are working to make amends, for those who understand the harm caused. She understands now, maybe. It's too late. 10 years of abuse are not erased by one letter of apology. I decided that when the child is born, I will be the father I never had. I will protect, love, but first, always, I will not repeat my parents' mistakes, neither Richard's cruelty nor my mother's cowardice. I will break the cycle. My child will grow up knowing unconditional love and protection. This is my promise. And the mother? She chose her path long ago. She lives with the consequences. I chose my path. Life without her. This is not revenge. This is survival. This is health. This is a boundary. And I am at peace with this choice. What I learned: a parent who fails to protect a child from abuse is also guilty. Silence is complicity. Forgiveness is not an obligation. You can let go without forgiveness. Boundaries are healthy and necessary, even with family, especially with family. Regrets years later do not erase the harm caused. Sometimes the best revenge is to build a good life without those who said you can't. I survived. Now I'm thriving. And now questions for you friends. Is Ethan right in refusing to forgive his mother? Does the mother deserve a second chance after all these years? Asterisk, asterisk, is the mother as guilty as the stepfather for not protecting the child? Asterisk, asterisk. Asterisk, asterisk, should Ethan let her know about his grandson? Asterisk, asterisk. Is this a cruel or healthy boundary? Asterisk, asterisk, what would you do if you were Ethan? Asterisk, asterisk. Asterisk, asterisk, can there be forgiveness without restoring relationships? Asterisk, asterisk. Speech balloon. Asterisk, asterisk, leave your thoughts in the comments! Exclamation asterisk, asterisk. Thumbs up. Asterisk, asterisk, like if the story touched you. Asterisk, asterisk. Bell. Asterisk, asterisk, subscribe to stay up to date with new stories. Asterisk, asterisk.